And here's the Vegan's Almanac for today, the 2nd of November, 2024. Today is National Bison Day. National Bison Day is an annual commemoration of the ecological, cultural, and historical contribution of the American bison to the United States. It has been observed annually on the first Saturday in November since 2012. In 2016, President Barack Obama signed the National Bison Legacy Act, making the North American bison the national mammal of the United States. Conservation groups, Native American tribes, and federal bison managers have joined together in recent years to continue to make progress in the restoration of this species, which once numbered in the millions and was distributed across much of the continent, but was hunted to near extinction. Recent collective efforts include restoring new conservation herds of wild bison on tribal and public lands and expanding these areas over time to allow for larger herds. Jamie Rappaport Clark, former president and CEO of Defenders of Wildlife, said, "The prairie evolved with the bison and the bison with the prairie. We've gone from the near total destruction of our national mammal to bringing bison back to the Great Plains. Many nations across the plains, along with the Intertribal Buffalo Council and partners such as Defenders, have been creating cultural herds on tribal lands, bringing back this sacred animal to Native American communities. We are all elated that this magnificent animal can once again speak for himself and stands tall. Indian country stands tall with the buffalo," said Mark Azure. Defenders has long played a role in helping bring back buffalo to the Blackfeet Nation, the Nakota tribe of Fort Belknap, and the Assiniboine and Sioux tribes of Fort Peck, supporting the purchasing of grazing leases for additional acres for the bison to roam, purchasing wildlife-friendly bison fencing, and supporting the transfers of Yellowstone bison from the national park to tribal nations across the West. Since we welcomed back the first Yellowstone buffalo, we've seen the ecosystem revive. Grassland birds have returned. Native grasses are thriving, said Robert Magnan, director of the Fort Peck Tribe's Fish and Game Department. Federal herds such as at Yellowstone, coupled with tribal herds, as well as herds on dedicated reserve lands, all contribute to the collective conservation goal to create a meta-population of wild bison, returning this species to the plains, stretching from Canada to Mexico. Montana and Colorado both have herds managed as wildlife, which are once again contributing ecologically to our prairie grasslands. Today, there are roughly 500,000 bison across North America. The publication of Eating Animals by Jonathon Safran Foer was on this day in 2009. Best-selling author Jonathon Safran Foer spent much of his life oscillating between enthusiastic carnivore and occasional vegetarian. For years, he was content to live with uncertainty about his own dietary choices. But once he started a family, the moral dimensions of food became increasingly important. Faced with the prospect of being unable to explain why we eat some animals and not others, Foer set out to explore the origins of many eating traditions and the fictions involved with creating them. Traveling to the darkest corners of our dining habits, Foer raises the unspoken question behind every fish we eat, every chicken we fry, and every burger we grill. Part memoir and part investigative report, Eating Animals is a book that, in the words of the Los Angeles Times, places Jonathon Safran Foer at the table with our greatest philosophers, and a must-read for anyone who cares about building a more humane and healthy world. And here's a portion of a speech given by Chief Sitting Bull. "Behold, my brothers, the spring has come. The earth has received the embraces of the sun, and we shall soon see the results of that love. Every seed has awakened, and so has all animal life. It is through this mysterious power that we too have our being, and we therefore yield to our neighbors, even our animal neighbors, the same right as ourselves to inhabit this land. Words from Chief Sitting Bull. This has been the Vegan's Almanac with a reminder to walk lightly on this earth and live vegan.